I told everybody that I was going to try to follow up and about today and what happened in court and try to give an update. This is going to be an unscripted video. I do not know what the future of this channel is going to hold. I've taken down several videos for now. I don't have the means to go back into those particular videos and edit them, and I'll have to listen to each one of them. I have not learned much about how to make videos other than just the video camera. There's many people far advanced in their skills, and I haven't been inspired to try to learn new techniques and get new equipment and software, whatever it takes, and study to become a master at this. So all those videos, I had about 80 something videos, and now it's only showing about 44. So most of them are unlisted or in private. Well, I found out you cannot, even though they're unlisted or private, you can't find them on YouTube, but they're still searchable. They can be found on a Google search. So I'm even leery about making a video now about what happened in the court. I've noticed that I've got several new subscribers in the last couple of days, and I have an idea why. I'm glad you're here, and you kind of came on at a very bad time, as far as I had to take off some videos that could possibly have gotten me in legal trouble with a former employer that I can't mention. And I had another restraining order hearing today. This was not the actual hearing. It was just a meeting with the judge and the company's attorney to determine if there was enough cause to go forward. So there's going to be a final hearing on November the 8th that I have to attend. So what's unusual about this one is I got to actually attend the hearing so I could talk about why I posted the videos, not the video, but the article on medium.com, which I've deleted and took down. I know most of you aren't going to make any sense of this. I am a man, I'm 66, and I've had 4 restraining orders, and now I have 5 coming. Look like the 5th one's going to happen. And like I said, I'm just very nervous about even talking about it, even though I'm not. If the attorney was to see this video, I mean, he really couldn't do anything because I'm not going to mention names. I do not believe they have found this channel. They found the article on Medium where I had talked about what happened to me at work and my feelings toward my boss that I wrote back in March of this year. And that's what prompted them to take me to court and issue a second restraining order by this company, which I deny all. I didn't do anything wrong, but that's in the videos that I had described what happened to me are no longer visible right now. I'm kind of tired. It's 12 o'clock, but I wanted to let y'all know that I was going to talk about. I had a court hearing this morning about this possible restraining order, and it's been 18 months since I had been in that court with the company's attorney. I didn't have an attorney. I had to represent myself, and like I said, the restraining order is a temporary restraining order filed, and all they're trying to do, I can't write and talk about things. I can't talk about the former boss. I can't talk about the company or anybody in it. And they don't have any problem with the stuff about me going. I mean, I didn't violate any of the stipulations like contact or making phone calls or trying to go visit. That wasn't the issue. The issue was continuing to post about the employer and my boss. So that's what they went after me for. They found this article that I wrote back in March. And the judge was a woman, and I won't name her name, but she was the same judge that was before And what happened the first time, 18 months ago, which was March of last year, 2022, when I went to the initial hearing, was the attorney I had told me that I would be arrested, that the company's attorney was going to file perjury charges to keep me from telling my side of the story. That if I went in there and started telling that that's not how it happened, that they fired me because I went to get help for mental health treatment, and then they made up, they made false accusations saying that I sexually harassed my boss. Then I would have trouble. Okay, but she was saying that I would be arrested. So I brought that up in court today. I told the judge, and I said, this is what happened. The reason that we're back here today is because I'm still hurting, and this thing that's still causing me trauma because I didn't get to tell my side of the story of the reason that I lost my job in January of 2022, and it was because I went and asked for help, feeling suicidal, and that they fired me within 4 days, and then they made up. They said that the reasons were I had been sexually harassing my boss, and I had been making terroristic threats, which none of this was true. Okay, I'm not going to use the word lie. I'm not going to talk about the company, and don't y'all mention the company if you know who it was or remember. But so it was the return attorney and the judge said there is no way I would be arrested. Okay, she said that they did not tell my attorney that. He said there's no way he would have tried to file perjury charges against me or arrest me. So that conversation between him and my attorney never happened. He completely denied it, and my attorney told me that I had no chance 20 months ago, that because I'm a man, they're automatically going to listen to me. And the judge read where I had written that. And she said, I saw in your article that you said that she told you because you're a man, you're not going to have any chance in restraining order hearing. She said that's not true. Even the judges, this was talking to me kindly about it, said your story will be heard in just the same fairness as my boss. Now my boss wasn't there today, and this is the company. This has nothing to do with her, as far as she's not the one that's causing this. But so they told me, I got relief just in knowing that I could have actually told my side. My attorney she was worthless. The one that I had, she didn't want to help me. Okay, it was a very unpleasant experience. It cost me $1,500, and then she just disappears. And so, I had this guy on here, which I haven't taken him off. I'm going to block him. He calls himself Burger Boy. Oh, you've really fucked up this time. You're going to be in jail for 30 days trying to terrorize me, which you did, and you're really messed up. They're gonna put you away, so you're gone. I mean, you're just a troll like a lot of people have been, and but that's not what would have happened. They confirmed that I can tell my side of the story if I want. It said they probably won't make any difference. The judge didn't say that. The attorney said it probably won't make any difference. It'll still probably be a restraining order for another year. And they call it an injunction. It's just an injunction where I abide by the rules. And I can't post anymore anything in video or writing. And very scary stuff. Very scary. I was very afraid this morning. Cops walking around. I felt it was a trap. Honestly, my paranoid thinking made me think that this might be a trap. I might go into the courtroom and they might arrest me. But this court is different than I've ever seen. Down in Florida, you go to court and you got an audience behind you listening to everything that's going on. Well, they take you into a private room, for the courtroom, and it's all private. So it's just me and the judge, who was a female, and the company's attorney, and one of the company's representatives. So there was only 1, 2, 4, 5 people, and there was I guess you call him a bailiff or a security guard. I mean, he didn't have a gun, he had a badge. So there's 5 of us in there. So I don't have to worry about people in the back listening or hearing. There was no audience, so it was very private. So I really respected that, and I don't have any animosity against these people. I don't have any animosity against their attorney. He was kind enough to even tell me about the hearing. I didn't think I could even go today, and so now I don't have to worry about being served. I've already got the paperwork. I don't have to worry about anybody knocking on my door. I just have to show up on November the 8th. Now the attorney doesn't want, he's trying to talk me out of it. He said, we can make it to where you don't have to come. We can make it where we can just end this right now. All you got to do is agree, that you're not going to say any more about it, not going to write about it, and you've already done that. You've already proven that you haven't done anything in the 20 months except, the article that you wrote. But, they're not really happy about me, still wanting to, because if I go back to the restraining order here, and even though I'll be able to speak, speak freely without worrying about being arrested, it's going to be more like a trial, because he said, I will be objecting, and the judge, she may still let you speak, and he says, I wrote a song about my boss, and he said I'll be playing that, and he said it won't be pretty, it's not going to be pleasant, it's not going to be the same as it was today, it's going to be a trial, and so I got to think about that, but the way I feel now is I want to go all the way to the end. I mean, if I want to go, it'd be 2 years since it all started, basically, almost 2 years, 21 months, and if I come this far, just supposed to go. If it's still a possibility that I'll tell my side of the story of how I really got fired, and none of this would have ever happened if I would have not got fired or been treated differently or a different outcome. There never would have been any reason for me to write articles that got their attention, and that's what got me in trouble, was writing stuff and posting about my experience and talking about my feelings. What got it was talking about my feelings with my boss, and that's what got me in the trouble that I'm in. And if I never would have wrote anything, there probably never would have been a restraining order to begin with, because they found what I wrote on my Facebook page back in January 2022. So, I've done some very stupid things, very foolish things. People in pain do stupid things. They do foolish things, destructive things to themselves and others. So, I was going to talk about this guy calls himself Doomer Chronicles. I found out that he had taken my videos and copied them onto his channel and played mostly parts of them. I didn't look at all of them, to be honest with you. And he pasted a picture of my girlfriend that I had when I was 18, 50 years ago, the most cherished memory of my life, and put her on there. And he also put the video up about me and this woman I had met in Romania for a while. And, it was just sick and it was disgusting. And when I saw that, I went ballistic. And I had YouTube remove them. They filed strikes and they took every one of them down. So I'm just going to warn him and anybody who might be listening to this. You take my videos and you incorporate it into one of your videos, I'm coming after your ass. And I'm going to take it down. I talk about people and criticize people that have hurt me in the past, and the people in the Course in Miracles and teachers. And I've done it many times, but I'm not going to take their pictures and or a video they made and post it within a video that I'm making, and then layer it with music and as I said last night when I saw those videos that this guy had put on there, it reaffirms what I've always believed about God, that God is insane. God created humanity, and that is just nothing but filth. What God has created in the form of man, and for the most part, is garbage. And there could be nothing more relevant than what was posted about me. And there's even been some people on my channel begging me to rescind the strike, take it down, because they're trying to tell me that he was really being kind about it. He was really wasn't criticizing you, and they want me to reverse my decision and have him put them back up. Well, that ain't gonna happen. Right? It's not gonna happen. That was the final straw, and that caused it couldn't have come at a worse time. I mean, since Monday is when I found out about the restraining order hearing, and I was in a job interview at the time when I saw it on my email. Got so upset I had to give up. I had to leave the job interview. I couldn't even focus. I was in a state of panic, and left. I was 40 miles away. So then I got this this burger boy, calls himself, saying, "You messed up this time. You really messed up. You're going to jail for 30 days." So I got this guy on here, which he's going to be gone soon. I mean, I'll block him. And then, of course, I had this other YouTuber, Copy 45. There's also this guy called Southern Israelite that put one up, and I took it down too. So I don't have the time and energy right now to get. I'm exhausted. I mean, mentally exhausted from what has happened. So I have a history of restraining orders, and there was one that was warranted, and I'm not going to talk about it. It happened in 2009 with another employer, but this one that happened at my company 2 years ago was not warranted, and it should have never happened. And I have been through hell with this, and they can't understand why I won't let it go. Well, I told the judge today, I said I couldn't let it go because I never told you, never got to hear the side of what really happened. And I said, I don't care if you hear the side of it and you still grant the injunction. I just wanted to know on record what happened. Now, it's in writing. I mean, I put it in writing and answered the court 2 years ago. And that article on medium.com had all the details. So she has heard it, but I want to present it in the court. And so I'm very traumatized. I've been traumatized by a lot of police officers in my life because who came to wherever I live when I had mental health crises. And I've only been in jail once. I don't have a criminal record. I had a DUI in 94, but I ended up in the psych ward. When I got inside that jail, I freaked out. I was only going to be there like one night, but they ended up keeping me for 2 for some reason. The computer was down. So I had to spend like a Saturday night in the jail, and then Sunday night. And the guards saw how upset I was that they had to transfer me out of the general population, put me in the psych ward, and that was hell. So I am traumatized for the 40 years that I cannot describe to you the trauma. So I even see a police car driving through my apartment complex, I'm afraid. I haven't been stopped by a police officer since 1994. Haven't even had a ticket. Okay, but still, I'm afraid of them. And of course, here today, I'm in this courthouse surrounded by what? Punishment, incarceration, law enforcement officers, attorneys, judges. This judge said something today that was very enlightening to me. And, she said to me, she says, "You know what the definition of evil is?" She asked me. She said, "You know what the definition of evil?" I said, "What?" "The internet." She said, "The internet is evil. There's a definition of evil." She said, "Once you put something out there, you own it." She said, "It's not, you can't take it back." And man, that hit home. I mean, and but this was, it was a very gentle meeting today. There was no harshness. She asked me to answer a question one time when I kind of rambled, she got a little firm with me, but that didn't bother me. And but the everybody was nice and friendly and respectful. But that's what she said, and then that hit home. You know, I had put a lot of stuff out here in 40 years, a lot of hate, my feelings, and it's come back. And like I said, I pay a price. When I do these videos, I have to feel this rage and this anger, and it eats me alive. But I still have one more hearing to go unless I take the offer to, just not agree to testify, and they'll just let it go, and I don't have to show up. So right now, the restraining order, it's a temporary thing until they have the final hearing. And the final hearing is where you can bring witnesses, or I could hire an attorney, which I'm not going to be able to. She even told me to call legal aid. I might do that tomorrow. And I told her I don't have any money. I've been out door dashing. In fact, I went out door dashing tonight, made $59 in 3 hours. I found out if I can put in 6 hours door dashing, 6 hours. If I devote 6 hours a day, I can make $120. But I'm terrified of wearing my car out. It's just a long story. It's easy work for the most part, and I get a Social Security check, so I am hurting. I really need a really good paying job, but I don't want to ramble. I'm just saying that. And I'm scared about this video, and I appreciate y'all's comments about what you think about this video, and if you think it's something that can get me in further trouble, but I haven't mentioned any names. Of course, like I said, if the attorney found this video, he would know. He would know. He recognize. First of all, he's going to recognize me, and then he's going to know who I'm talking about. But the thing is, I'm not talking about the company or the person that I worked under any longer. And I've never made any harm about it. I was in so much agony about what happened to me, and like it's just very. I worked there for 8 months, and like I said, and I got very depressed because I was lonely and depressed, and I wasn't getting anywhere with dating or sex, and I went to my supervisor and asked for help, and they were in the process, but once the higher members of the management found out about it, they got rid of me. So it was an ugly time. If they just would have fired me, I probably would have survived and forgot about it. Well, I wouldn't have forgot about it, but I would have went on. But when they filed that restraining order on me in January, that's what opened up the wound. When I say the first one, back in January 2022. And I've not been the same since. And I am paranoid. I put so many videos out. I'm paranoid of, he told me today, he says he looks all the time on the internet for things, articles, or not just me, I guess, but other people. He says he'll find it, and I believe him. So it's a terrible world we live in. We live in a terrible world where you can't defend yourself, especially if you're a weak man. All this because of love, lack of love, all because of failure with women. All this because of the inability to find connections with women. You look at somebody like this Jordan Peterson guy, this guy's got millions of views, and I don't think I'm any less smarter than him. But what is the difference between me and Jordan Peterson? Jordan Peterson is a man of much higher mental health. Okay, he's a man who's supported by thousands of people, family. He is a man, first of all, he has his mental health. Okay, he has a lot of money. He has a high degree of education. So he grew up and he's well off. So that's what makes him a success and me a failure. All right, he's able to get his needs met and be supported by people who love him and support him. And I don't have that. I have y'all who say kind things, and I don't do enough in the way of appreciation. It's just because I'm tired. I got this morning, the first time I've been out of bed at 6 o'clock in the morning in months. I normally been sleeping at 2 o'clock. And so I'm trying to break that habit. But that, Jordan, I don't watch Jordan Peterson, first of all, because he's a psychologist, and I hate psychologists. And plus, I see his fame and fortune, and I feel like shit next to him. So why would I want to do that? But I wish. I don't know for the new people. I don't know what the future holds. I don't know if I put those other videos back up, make some new videos, delete the channel. I can't take much of this anymore as far as of the stress of being in fear of somebody finding something and bringing me to court just because I'm trying to speak the truth. And I have been hateful. I have really had a lot of rage in me since I got involved with the Course in Miracles years ago, and then not having a girlfriend all these years, and then addiction to porn for 33 years. And I said, well, if I can't be a winner, I'll just be the best loser I can and talk about the things. And but there's a lot of predators out there that'll prey on you. Like this Doomer Chronicle guy. They're predators. They look for people like me, and he's got some really sad characters on his website. Sad. I guess they hate themselves so bad they don't care. Maybe they don't even know his videos are on his channel. But that's sad. But you put my videos on your channel and integrate them in, like I said, I'm coming after you. I may not like myself, but I'm all I have. I'm the only person that drugged myself out of that bed this morning to go down to that courthouse, and I was in a state of absolute terror. It's on the interstate, and the traffic got backed up, and I was afraid I wasn't going to make it. It was 13 miles to the courthouse. This is a big place I live in, and I got there 20 minutes, 15 minutes ahead of time. Then I had trouble finding a parking place, and then I put money in the parking meter and realized I only had 2 hours. So then I'm in the courtroom, and we didn't even start the hearing until about an hour later. So I got that on my mind, thinking, dang, what if the parking meter expires and they tow the vehicle? I don't know, all this crap in my mind. If I came out and had a ticket, that's one thing, but I don't know what the laws are. But it didn't happen. We were out of there in less than an hour, and when I got back to the parking meter, I had like 10 minutes. So my mind is a jumbled mess of fear and anxiety. I feel a whole lot better now than I did. Monday and Tuesday was terrible. Actually yawning. Like I said, it's almost 12:30 here, maybe a little bit later in the morning. But these new people, I know it don't make any sense what's going on. I'm just a guy that's a lot older than most of you, who's been through a hell that you cannot imagine. That I started out on the path of being positive. I read hundreds of self-help books and the Course in Miracles, which is the most advanced spiritual teaching on the planet that I know of. And nothing worked. Everything that I studied made me feel worse because I couldn't. It wasn't that I couldn't learn it. I understood it. I just couldn't apply it. And then, the anger started when I started asking people for help. For example, I say, I'm upset or frustrated because I don't have a sex partner. Well, the reply I would get from someone in the Course in Miracles, well, that's not important. That's your body calling. You can take control of that. You don't need sex. That's just an illusion of your ego. So that's how you're talked to by the Course in Miracles people, if you know anything about it. And then and that turned into a lifetime of rage. And that rage has cost me a lot of trips in the mental hospitals. And the only reason that it didn't result in violence is because I was always willing to talk about it. If I didn't like somebody, I'm going to call you how I feel, and tell you how I feel about you. And I think that's the only thing that saved me, is I didn't let it bottle up and not talk about it. I still pay a price When you express your rage to somebody, you're still going to pay a price. But it's better than ending up in prison as a rage killer or somebody like Nicholas Cruz or Elliot Rogers. I mean, these are people who couldn't communicate. They had no one to listen. They had no one they could talk to about their pain. And that's where it's bad. And that's what I came on this channel to talk about. If you're a man, and if you're not in the top 20%, there's only 20% of the men in this society and in the world, probably in general, who really have a life worth living. These are the men who can have married, have a wife, have sex, children if they want them. The other 80% of men are in a shithole. And I was saying to myself, the title of this video, I'm not sure. I was thinking I was going to make it. The bigger the pile of shit, the more flies you attract, and that's been in my case. The more videos I put out and the more I talk, the more flies and maggots I attract into my life. Or I don't know what's. I've been talking for 31 minutes. I'm done. I got to stop. I can only do about 38 minutes, and I don't know what the future is, but I know that there's got to be some changes. I've got to become better at this choreography. If I want to continue, I've got to tone down my rage. I've got to quit using so much profanity. But then again, I wonder, well, maybe that's what got me here. That seems to be what people respected me as being raw and brutal. I mean, I tried being nice. I can remember one time at a Course in Miracles retreat, or Course in Miracles seminar at a church in Tampa, Florida. That's the same place where I met this teacher that I expressed so much hate about in 1987. They put me up in front of the group. They said, "Oh, well, we want you as a leader because you know so much about the Course." So they had me up there as a leader, and I was talking about relationships, and I brought up the fact that I didn't have a girlfriend. I was frustrated about it. And the people that I'm supposed to be an example to or teaching, they kept saying, "Oh, all the girlfriends I had were wonderful." He kept saying, this one guy kept saying, "Yeah, every girlfriend I had was kind and loving. They were all good." And I'm thinking about the shithole of my life and behind me and the relationships and the none. And the rejections and the loss of every girl I ever known. And I walked out of that. I just walked off the. It wasn't a stage. I was standing behind a podium, and I walked off. I said I am not going to pretend I'm happy with this Course in Miracles when I'm miserable. But I've talked enough. I'll try to answer, leave your thoughts, what you think about this, and we'll go from here. That's all I can say right now. It's been a very difficult day, or last 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Just, my life is getting harder and harder every year, every day, and just not getting anywhere. Thank you.